Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the BF-109 E-3 sitting at 2.7 battle rating. I wanted to say let's revisit a golden oldie, but this was not a golden oldie for me. The last time I flew out this plane, I was flying on my old computer, which was a toaster. Let's get that engine, yes, critical and a fire on the engine we were aiming for. Brilliant. I love it when things go as planned. But this plane definitely was not a plane I did well in on my old toaster of a computer with 20 to 30 frames per second. And when there was a lot of planes in the screen, I sometimes had 10 frames per second. I had a terrible record in this thing, so when I revisited it I was kind of open about what I would find. And what I found was something completely different, a fantastic plane that can perform very well in the vertical, an energy fighter that can boom and zoom as well. Brilliant. I did very well while revisiting this plane. I had 17 kills and 1 death, and it just surpassed my expectations by far, because I had such an old memory about this plane. I was also of course a completely different pilot back in those days. Corsair, we get him very quickly. The cannons were effective there. Big difference with the E4 that comes after this plane is that this plane doesn't have Minengeschoss. That would make you think that these shells would be less effective, but the experience that I've had was very effective and good devastating power on these cannons as long as you are within a certain range. But doing well in this plane, and I had a lot of fun. Anyway, let's take a look at her. The maximum speed in this plane at sea level without web is 462 kilometers an hour, and with web 475. Go up to 4500 meters, you can take her to 436 kilometers an hour without web, and 448 kilometers an hour with web. At 6500 meters she'll go 400 kilometers an hour without web, and 403 kilometers an hour with web. Now that's good speed at 2.7. It's definitely a fast plane. It also has not a lot of deviation the higher she goes. This plane performs very well at higher altitudes as well, and can reach nice speeds there as well. You do see the web slowly getting less and less good as you go up. Being almost non-effective when you get to 6500 meters, but you don't have to be afraid. This plane won't perform at altitude. This plane is good at altitude, but it also performs very well at mid to lower altitude, so there is that. The top speed in a dive in this plane is 750 kilometers an hour before it redlines, and 818 kilometers an hour before it rips apart. Now that's very good in a dive, and the control stiffening matches it. 818 is not the effective dive speed, that's about 750. Control stiffening starts very slightly at around 600 kilometers an hour, and it becomes severe at 750, but that is already the red line, so you stay pretty functional in the roll rate up until 750 kilometers an hour. So I would call the control stiffening very nice on this plane. It is there, but it is very late, and making the effective dive speed very high. Thus this plane is very suited as a boom and zoomer, but of course as an energy fighter she does very well as well. The stall speed in this plane is 160 kilometers an hour. Firepower is good. You have two 20mm MG/FF cannons with 60 rounds per gun. I used air targets for that, and you are supported by 2 times 7.92mm MG17 machine guns with 1000 rounds per gun. Stealth rounds for those, and a 600 meter convergence used in this match. The ammo load I would call average. If you take the 60 rounds for the cannons, which are the most devastating, then that is bad. But the 1000 rounds on the machine guns is so good that I would take it up to average for that. But no more. You couldn't call it good. I would love to see 100 or 120 rounds of cannon rounds for that. The plane performs very well. The acceleration in a straight line is good. In a dive it's also good. Energy retention in the horizontal is good, and in the vertical it's very good. This plane is very suited to vertical maneuvering. and it is something you want to do a lot in this plane. The climb rate supports that as well. This plane has great climb rate and it definitely can get up there. You don't have to side climb much in this plane, as you can vie for the high altitude, going straight towards where you expect the enemy. Turn time in the plane is decent to good, decent without flaps and good with flaps. The flaps are very nice at this battle rating. They only rip off at 520 kilometers an hour, which is way above the maximum speeds that this plane can get in level flight. So there is that is nice. In a dive, of course, you have to be careful because the acceleration is good and you might go past 520 in a dive pretty quickly. But all in all, nice flaps. The roll rate in the plane is no more than average. That is not one of the strengths of this 109. Not of any 109, by the way. They are not Focke-Wulfs. Average roll rate on the thing. Overall maneuverability I would call decent. There is overheating in this plane, which is present, definitely, but manageable. It easily cools off when you take WEP off and you can fly indefinitely at 100%, that's no problem. The plane is also pretty durable, which I would call decent, and it can take a hit or two, yeah, definitely. So, good plane, absolutely, and fantastic at 2.7 battle rating. The performance in RB is really, really good, and you can definitely compete. Energy fighting comes first in this plane, with boom and zooming as a close second. The plane and the handling in a dive are such that you can definitely do a good boom and zoom job in this plane. But of course the 109s are, their base is energy fighting. As we avoid the guns here of Dead Liver there, we turn in and we already take back some distance here. We're very close. Putting some shots in, get a critical on him. Some more shots and we take him apart, taking off the left wing. Very nice, my 6th kill. Had a good chat with Dead Liver before and after the kill. He was a subscriber. Always nice to meet you, by the way, so good to see you in there. He wanted to learn, he asked what was going on, and that's always nice to see. People with the mentality to want to get better. So we were looking for the last two guys, and one of them was this XP38, which we avoid right here. I was actually on the way back to the airfield when I spotted him, and we still have enough ammo, but look at the fuel counter. We have well, 3 minutes and 40 seconds left here. P38 of course is also an excellent plane on altitude and has good performance there, and he came from a higher altitude, so his energy precision is much better than mine, and I really don't have the fuel here to go into an enlarged engagement. If I would have had more fuel, I would have stayed in a level flight. I would have let him come again. I would have probably turned to one of the sides of him and let him come in again, avoid him and see if he would get impatient from boom and zooming and trying to wear him down, so that he would make a mistake and then shoot him down, as we did with Dead Liver earlier. But now I'm basically trying to, one more time here, I'm trying to see what he does in the overshoot here. See if he makes a mistake. Now he does go up again, he expects me to come up for him. I do that just to see what he does. Like a bait, you know, like a bait. And he's actually coming down slowly though, so I'm already in a dive. I have 500 kilometers an hour speed. I'm in no danger. I have some time to position myself, but we probably have to turn before we get to the airfield here. We have 2 minutes of fuel, which is becoming very, very low. We are close to the airfield though, so I'm in no danger. It is not my plan here to lure him to the airfield, but I just have to go to the airfield, which basically dictates, my fuel load basically dictates that. So here he comes. He is actually coming completely down for me here, and he is closing the gap pretty quickly. Fantastic plane, the XP38. I have to fly that plane again sometime soon. I have an old review up on that plane, but pretty old, like to look at it again. He's going for the Heinkel. He does get him. He is over my airfield now though. as I cross the 1 minute timer on my fuel here. Come on, now he's on fire. I'm trying to fire with my machine guns there to get a hit, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. I do not get my 7th kill there. He was wanting to get me, but yeah, he should have waited out of range of the AA guns and just wait for me to come up again, and then engage me. He would have been in the advantage, and I would definitely have tried to fight him. Then the timer runs out. There was 1 airplane left, but we get 6 kills in this match with the 1st place in the team. Let's see what kind of rewards we got for that performance. We've got rank does not matter, survivor, terror of the sky, and balancer, 43,000 silver lions and 2,300 research points. First place. I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the E-3 is a plane I had very bad memories about because I was a much worse pilot back then, and I had a terrible computer at that time, and I just didn't do well in this plane back in the day. But this revisit has reopened my eyes to this plane. The E-3 is a gem. It is a fantastic plane, and it is a danger in the hand of a good pilot. I had fantastic results in this thing when I flew it, and I can definitely recommend this plane to anyone who wants to unlock part of the German 3. Of course, quickly after this you get the E4, which does have Minengeschoss rounds in the belt, and that is more effective. It does have a higher top speed as well, but it is a higher battle rating, so there is that. The E3 is definitely something that won't disappoint you if you once you get to know her. So all in all, good plane, and I'm definitely glad that I revisited her. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.